Alright, Banjo Ben here again with the guitar, and I've had some requests from some listeners out there to put some more beginner to intermediate type stuff on here, so I'm going to start out by putting just some basic licks, just basic G licks. I don't know how much time I'll have in this particular lesson. I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes, but these are Tony Rice based bluegrass basic guitar licks, and I hope you enjoy them. Okay, we're going to start off with what I'll just call G lick number 1. This is one that's used not only in picking, but all the time at the end of musical phrases. You'll hear this lick. It's probably the most important one to learn because you'll use it all the time, even playing rhythm, not just playing lead. And as many flat pickers as there are, that's how many different ways there are to do this lick. So I'm going to show you a few standard ways, or a few ways that I may do it. And a lot of times it depends on the speed of the song as to which one of these that I'll use. But it sounds something like this. Now, I'll give you some variations of that and also slow it down. But it's based out of your G chord. And once again. Notice how I'm not picking every single note, and when I'm going really slow, a lot of times I will, to really get that volume in there. But when you're really trucking along, a lot of times it's hard to pick every single note in there. But you'll hear variations of it, such as a lot of times instead of fingering that second fret, people will finger that flat 7, that F note. A lot of times instead of pulling off, people will just stick it there and leave it there. It'll sound like this. Or they'll slide into the G string. And one other lick that I do, especially on slower tempo songs, changes the rhythm up just a little bit, syncopates it just a little differently. It sounds like. Being extremely clean with it this morning, but one more time. So there's G lick number 1. Alright, looking at the time of these video clips, it looks like I'm going to probably make a couple of these videos, since YouTube I don't think will accept videos over 10 minutes long. So I might just spend this whole lesson teaching G licks, and then do separate lessons for C, D, and for endings. But for your next lick, this is a really hot lick. And if you've listened to Tony Rice, or really just about any picker for very long at all, you will have heard this lick. And once you learn it and get it down and get it situated in your little lick bag or your bag of tricks, it's very useful in all types of situations, and it sounds really cool, especially when you get it clean and fast. But I'm going to play the lick for you right quick. One more time. Now, it sounds pretty tricky to a lot of you, and it is at first, but once you get it, it's not bad at all. I'm going to start out on my high E string, and I'm going to hammer on to from the 1st to the 3rd fret. So those are 2 quarter notes. 1, 2. Then my next step is on the B string. I also hammer that from the 2nd to 3rd fret on the B string. And then I end up picking the E string on the 1st fret again. So it's all those are downstrokes so far. And after I hit that, I'm going to leave my ring finger down, because I'm going to go right back to that string. So that's going to be an upstroke when I come back through. Okay? So you got that much down so far. Next we're going to throw a little pull off in there. This is going to be a 16th note. And you've got your, if you're counting 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then you've got your 8th notes, which will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then you get your 16th notes that would be 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So if you kind of think about it as breaking them down to increments like that, kind of think of it mathematically, that helps a lot, at least for me. I kind of have a mathematical brain, but so you've got your quarter notes, then you've got your 8th notes. Now we're going to pull off some 16th notes. So it's, and you're going to pull off from the 2nd fret to your 1st fret on your B string, and then you're going to end up on your 3rd fret of your G string. So it's, okay, so we've made it that far. Then we're just about done with it. I'm going to play the rest of it for you really slow. You notice there's some slides and some pull-offs in there. And I guess technically you could pick every one of those notes, but to kind of get that smooth, glassy feeling that you hear Tony get, he's pulling off and sliding on those notes most of the time. Or on the ending you can do the 2nd fret, just like on that 1st G leg. Okay, either one of those, just whichever one you're inclined to do. If it's a more bluesy song, a lot of times I'll use that flat 7 in there more often. If it's a more straight up type melody based song, I'll use that 6th, which is the E note. Kind of goes easier on the ears. But one more time. And it'll take a while. Don't get discouraged. It'll take a while for you to get that pull off really clean. And so one exercise that I will sit around and do, and I was talking about exercises to work on your speed, is I'll just sit around and practice that pull off back and forth. And that really works on your right hand because you're forcing a downstroke on the B string and an upstroke on the G string, which with your right hand, that's one of the hardest things to do fast, is to change directions and go back up the strings. So that's one thing I just sit around sometimes for 10 minutes straight and just okay, and once you get that down, then you can cool. One more time, really slow. I can't stress to you how important it is to use the same pick direction that I'm using. It may seem awkward, but if you'll go ahead and use my pick direction, I promise you it will benefit you in the future. Anyway, I'll post some more lessons. Hope you enjoyed this one.